What's going on, guys? This is Brain from Advancement Hockey Advising here, and today we'll be talking about pre-game anxiety and how you can overcome it as a hockey player. All right, before we dive into things here, just a quick reminder, as always, to absolutely smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and share the video if you like the content. Also, if you have any questions or things you want to talk about with us throughout the video, feel free to drop a comment down below or email us at info@ahadvising.com and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. All right, so we're making this video here because we've all been there, right? We're getting ready for a game, everything's great. It's a big game, we're ready to go. And then we have this absolute crippling nervousness and anxiety and stress that just getting us, and we can't, get into the zone and we can't perform at our best, right? I think we've all been there. Usually it kind of goes away after the first few shifts, but sometimes an entire game, you're so wound up, you're so anxious and nervous that you play out of fear and you don't play, at your best, and you don't really get in the zone. And that's what we're here to talk about today. I know that this can be really frustrating for some, and I know that the anxiety can be a little bit crippling sometimes, but I want you to know that it's completely normal and that you're not alone. I had to deal with this, and a bunch of other players I know had to deal with this. And actually, the fact that you're nervous before a game and you feel this kind of anxiety and stress is actually a good thing. It's actually your body trying to help you, really take care of business on the ice. And it actually shows that you care, right? If you didn't feel anything before a game, if you just felt completely numb, one, you wouldn't be in the right state to play, actually. And two, it would just show that you don't really care about the event. So when it's a big game, you usually get extra nervous because you care that much more. So that's actually a really good thing. But at the same time here, I don't want to just promote, being overstressed and over anxious, because at that point it doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't help you perform at your best. So here, the goal of this video is to kind of give you the tools and techniques you can use to really help manage your anxiety levels, manage those pre-game jitters, and to really, manage it in a way that you're using it to your advantage and that you're actually, finding a way to perform your best. And here we're going to share 4 tips and tricks that you can use to do that. So tip number 1 here, and this one's going to sound really obvious, but is to actually prepare well beforehand before your game, right? There's no substitute for good preparation, right? If you prepare well in practice, if you train every day hard, if you show up on time every day, if you practice your best, and if you learn and improve every single day, when you show up to that big game, you're gonna feel so much more confident, right? Because you've prepared, you're confident in your abilities, you're gonna be able to go out there and crush the competition. And because you actually believe this, your nerves will settle. Your nerves won't be nearly as bad as if you're unprepared, right? I think we've all had this feeling, let's say for a test, for example, or math test, whatever it is in school, if we didn't really study as well, or if we didn't prepare for that test as well as we should have, you betcha we're gonna be way more nervous for that test than if we really studied well and really prepared well. Well, the same applies for a game here, right? If you really prepare well, if you're confident in your abilities, you're gonna go crush it. Naturally your nerves, they're still gonna be there, but they're gonna be lower because you're confident that you're gonna go and kill it in that game. So, tip number 1, and do not overlook this because so many players do, proper preparation for the game is crucial. All right, so tip number 2 here, and this one's a technique, and that is the mental reset button combined with a deep breath. So we've actually talked about this in our mindset techniques video ways back, but I'm bringing this one up again because this one is absolutely great for pre-game and during the game too, for that kind of anxiety to deal with it. This is probably my go-to trick, and it works almost all the time. It's actually amazing. So I'm sharing with this again so you guys really get this message that this trick is really, really useful and important. So it's very simple. All it is that you're gonna take a deep breath in, you're gonna pause, you're gonna picture the mental reset button, okay? And when you're ready, you're gonna take a deep breath out, and simultaneously you're gonna picture pressing that mental reset button. And then you're just gonna repeat this until you feel that state of, calm and that right state wash over you, I know this sounds kind of crazy. It sounds, too simple and too easy to work, but trust me, it really, really does work. The key is it distracts you from all those thoughts that are going around in your head that are making you all anxious and nervous. Basically, it just grounds you back up. So you're focusing on the mental reset button and your breath, and it takes, your attention away from all those crazy thoughts and emotions, and it just resets you. Trust me, try it out. I know it sounds a bit crazy, but try it out next time in between, before your game, in between your shifts and everything. And I promise you, you will enjoy the results. All right, so tip number 3 here, and this one we've talked about before too. And this is the technique that I call thought flipping. Or in other words is when instead of, saying you're nervous or you're stressed or you're anxious, you're gonna say you're excited. Now, you might be saying like, what is this, Braden? Like, why are you telling me to just tell myself that I'm excited rather than nervous? Well, actually, there's a lot of science that goes behind this, and there's some pretty cool studies that go on this. So basically, to explain this is that, nervousness and excitement, to your brain, the initial physiological feeling that you feel of this tense feeling, when you're stressed or nervous or excited, is the same to your body and brain, basically. So the initial feeling is the same, but what's different is the story that you tell yourself, okay? And from there, the following feelings and the following way your body feels afterwards. So for example, if you tell yourself, oh, I'm nervous, I'm stressed, well, the initial feeling is the same, but then you're gonna start to tense up. You're gonna start to, your thoughts are gonna go, a million miles an hour. You're gonna feel like, you're not ready for this, right? You're telling yourself you're nervous, so you're gonna be all tense, right? Versus, when you feel that initial rush of feelings, right, of stress almost, if you tell yourself you're excited, then what it tells your brain is that, okay, we got this under control. We're ready to go. We're ready to tackle this problem. So you're going to feel these same feelings, but you're going to feel more energized. You're not going to feel tense. You're going to feel energized, ready to flow, ready to go. And it sounds completely crazy. It sounds, that it's like hocus pocus, that it's not going to work. But trust me, this really does work. Just tell yourself, instead of saying, oh, I'm really nervous for this big game, say, hey, I am really excited for this big game. Just by saying this right now, I feel different than when I say I'm nervous. So try this out. This tip really does work its magic. All right, so the 4th and final tip here is to have proper nutrition. And you're like probably saying, wait, what? Proper nutrition? What does this have with, anxious thoughts, pregame stress and everything? Well, you'd be surprised here, but there's a lot of scientific literature, supporting the fact that anxiety levels are very, very correlated with the quality of nutrition intake that you have, right? So with knowing this, and I know this personally myself, I'm no nutritionist by any means, but I know this from personal experience, is when I eat really well, when I sleep well and all these other things, but when I eat well especially, my anxiety levels, are really low. And even before big events like public speaking and, back in the day playing hockey games, if I ate, a good pre-game meal especially, if I ate well that entire day, I felt great. I felt, ready to go, energized, not really anxious or anything. But let's say if I ate really bad, let's say we're on the road and I had some McDonald's before the game, I could typically feel, more anxious. It's crazy when you think about it, but I feel more anxious, something wouldn't feel right. And I feel the same now, whenever I have to go do big things. If I don't eat right, or if I start not eating right for a few days, I really do feel it. The anxiety starts to come back up a little again. I don't feel great. So, I know this sounds a bit crazy, but trust me, like if you clean up your diet and you really have proper nutrition, it really does go a long way when it comes to anxiety. All right, so I know we've covered a ton of info here. So here's a quick recap of the 4 tips that you have to remember. So first, actually preparing well before the game. Second, using the mental reset button plus the deep breath. Third, thought flipping, saying you're excited rather than nervous or stressed. And then 4th, really dialing down your nutrition and other lifestyle factors. All right, guys, if you enjoyed the video and haven't done so already, absolutely smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and share the video. And throughout this video, if you had any questions, anything that came up that you want to talk to us about, feel free to drop a comment down below, or if you want to message us privately, email us at info@ahadvising.com and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And last quick thing, if you want to check out any of the other platforms that we're on, like our Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, if you want to check out our newsletter, our website, anything like that, there's a link down in the description below that you can click that's going to give you nice access to all of it. And that is it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you on that next one.